really dark.
Yeah, we do. I don't know why. We got all the lights on.
Why do we look really dark? Well, whatever.
I don't know. Maybe we got a shadow.
I don't know. Let me close this.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, we're still a little dark, but that's all right.
Whatever.
It's a dark day here in Indiana.
It's a dark day. Hi, everybody. And I still have my frizz hair.
Yeah. She came in.
Sorry, Karen.
Sorry, Karen.
Karen thought she was going to come in and see me with short hair.
Yeah. And I'll tell you that story.
Didn't happen this week.
I know. This is Sunday, April 28th, episode number 180.
No, 188.
188.
Yeah, you skipped a row. You skipped an episode in your book.
Oh, 87 or 88. So today is 88.
Yeah,
okay,
today is 88.
So we have to fix my book, which, I write so little, but sometimes I write stuff down. Some days we have more to talk about, and it's important. And, but it's not a
runny
dark
noses
day.
and
everything else. It is a little. It's beautiful out. It's going to be a beautiful
gorgeous
summer day.
It's spring.
Well, I know, but it feels like summer.
I know it does.
Because here in Indianapolis, it goes quickly from winter to spring.
No, it kind of hops over spring.
Kind of hops over spring. And that's mainly because of those damn basketball tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I blame it on them.
Oh, I do too. Totally.
Yeah.
Because if there's an Indiana team playing in a basketball tournament, God damn it, we're going to have snow.
It'll snow.
Or it turns nasty, or you have a sleety rain or shit or something like that. It's given in God's rules. I think it's in the state charter somewhere. I bet if they went back far enough, someone had put that in the state charter.
It's in there. It's a bylaw.
It's got to happen that way. Hell with abortion and all that other stuff.
No.
We have to vote and women's voting. No, when you play a basketball game,
we have to
have traffic issues and snow. It has to work. That's just the way it is. So, got to go back to that.
And they have already started the construction when the snow hits.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Of course. Yeah,
because even if it doesn't snow, we're still going to have traffic issues because of the construction.
And I think some of that also is because the state automatically turns things over. Like in March, they take half the fleet and turn it into putting potholes, fixing the pothole maintenance sort of thing for it, because we also have many potholes in this city, not so much the state. I don't know about the state because I'm an expressway driver, not a back road.
For the most part, I am too.
Yeah, and my sister is a back road. Drives me insane. Oh, she has to take.
Does she go up to Chicago back roads?
Yes, she does.
Oh, for the love of Pete!
I can't. And 31 is like a limited access, so it drives really well. But I will go 20 minutes out of my way in order to stay on the expressway. Just so I don't have all that. You're driving along and you're doing really good on a 4-lane highway. And then all of a sudden, even on 4-lane highways, it goes down to 45 because you're going through a town. And it drives me nuts. Just nuts. Because you can't make any time. So, because then you get behind 2 trucks. And they're, I don't know.
Or better yet, you get the combine that comes out, or the tractor that goes out that goes going 25 miles an hour because that's their top speed.
That's it. And and
they take up 3/4 of the road.
Right. And as you're trying to go around, somebody's coming at because you can't see because they're sticking out like this. And they think they're okie dokie because they're out there every day and the cops all know them and they're waving and they're not giving them a ticket. But God forbid I kick it in the ass and go around them. I get the ticket because I was speeding. Yeah, anyway, I didn't get a ticket, by the way, no. So don't worry about that. I mean, I didn't do anything like that. I just, I'm just saying that I'm an expressway sort of gal.
Yeah, so, I am too.
Like Friday,
I'd rather be on the freeway than,
Yeah, Friday when I go up to Michigan, I was kind of charting my path, kind of which way I can kind of go. This one has you going over to some 4-lane road. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that. Let's see if we go back over here. And if you click on it and then drag it over, right? So you're clicking on the screen, you're dragging it over. Sometimes it leaves a little spot there. So it thinks you're going to this spot and then driving over.
Oh, I hate that.
And then they're trying to get it to go back to give you an estimated time of arrival. Nah, it's not going to work. So anyway.
I think some of those search engines you can tell it you just want freeways.
Yeah, no toll roads, things like that. So
yeah,
I was
no county roads, no
Yeah.
No, I just want interstate.
Just interstate. That's it.
Please give me the most interstate you possibly can.
Exactly. So, but she drives, my sister, she double puts those thrusters in, I mean, it's Mach 10 all the way.
Of course.
And most of the cops, when she would drive up to Ball and things, they all knew her car and they knew her. And there were a few times when they were, pointing over, she waves. She sees him in the back. She knows she's going to get yanked over. They pull up alongside of her and they point, and she's like, "Hey, John!" And he's like, he'll give her a thumbs up, and he turns the lights off, and away he goes, and away she goes. I'm like, that's so unfair, just because she's the doctor. So anyway, what are you gonna do? Such is life.
Did I ever tell you the story about when one of the only times I was pulled over was when I was delivering a medical specimen from the airport to the Mayo Clinic.
Okay.
This was back when I was in college, and I drove taxi.
Right.
And one of the things that the taxi company did was deliver medical.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know.
Medical coolers. So,
Yes.
It's a medical grade cooler. It was basically an igloo cooler that had a medical thing on it, to the Mayo Clinic. And, these are things like hearts and retinas
and kidneys and all that other stuff. Yeah.
She didn't know what it was.
Right.
But if you got a call to do that run,
yes,
it was $50. And this was a long time ago. So when I was in college, $50 was great. So I got a call once for that. Now you also had a time limit.
Yeah, you do.
I mean,
because they're holding a flight.
They're only viable for so long.
Right, because they've come on a flight from somewhere or something like that, so they have to.
They have to be at the destination within a certain time frame. And I said to my dispatcher, I said, I can't make it. Like I literally physically cannot make it. I'm on the north side of town.
Right.
The airport is on the extreme south outside of town.
Right.
And then it has to come back into downtown, and it needed to be done within a half an hour.
Uh-huh.
And I said, I can't do it. It's at least a minimum of a 50-minute.
Sure. No matter
what.
And
that's if I get into the airport, get it and get out of there within a minute or two.
Right.
And she's like, there's nobody else. You have to do it. And I said, are you telling me to speed? Well, no, we can't tell you to speed. I said, well, that's the only way I can viably do it.
Right.
So at any rate, I really didn't have a choice. So I sped.
Okay.
Getting there, I was probably going 90 on the freeway down
I
to
wouldn't
the
be
airport.
surprised.
And then on a 55, right? 55 mile an hour. And then coming back from the airport, you basically went down like a Broadway or a Main Street, which I think outside of town, it was like 45. And then once you got into town,
it was 20.
It was 30. No, it was 30.
Oh. Speed demon.
And I actually took the freeway as far as I could. And then I got up. So I went a different way that I normally would have. And I ended up taking a side road. And the side road was 30. I was going 86 in a 30. And the police officer pulls me over. Of course, he pulls me over. I mean,
and you're watching.
Obviously should be pulling me over, because I was going that fast. And he pulls me over. And as soon as he gets to the car, I said, I have no problem giving you my driver's license, my insurance. Now I'm in a taxi cab.
Sure.
I said, I have no problem giving you my driver's license, my insurance, my anything, but you see the cooler right there. Escort me over to Methodist. Like right now, it needs to be there within 5 minutes.
Right.
And he looks at me, he goes, really? And I go, yeah, 5 minutes. I have 5 minutes. There's probably a heart in here.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but so he did. He escorted me with lights blaring to the hospital, got it there in time, and then they gave me a ticket for like $190.
Oh my God. I would have gone to court over that. I would have shown up. I would have said,
I tried to get the cab company to pay for it, but
I'm sure they didn't.
No, they wouldn't.
Gail actually did that. My sister, when she was in med school.
I think that's the only speeding ticket I've ever gotten.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gotten too many either. Usually I can talk
my way out. So I
don't
count that as a speeding ticket. Yeah, I talk my way out.
I talk my way out. I get a lot of warnings.
Yeah, me too.
So that's usually the way it is. One time I jumped out of the car and acted like there was a bee in it. So that was one way.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, yeah. I like that.
Because if you see them coming up, just kind of, when you see them, kind of swat around and then they turn their lights on and you pull over and you jump out of the car and you look around like, do this sort of thing. Like you're getting this bug out of the car and they get out of the car wondering what the hell's going on. I'm like, look out. I said, if you're allergic to a bee, he's madder than hell, but I don't know where he went. And he's like, and so then of course they've got to help because their male instincts want to help.
You got to protect. You got to protect. Yeah.
So,
you're so bad.
I really am. I was telling her before that on one of our flights over to London, there was a young man next to me and it was a day flight and he had never flown first class. He'd never flown out of the country. Actually, it was his first business trip going over. And he's looking in the little bag they give you on the internet. But this was a couple
100 years ago.
No, actually it was 2015.
Okay,
and
so it wasn't 100
So it wasn't
years
that long ago. They give you socks, an eye mask, toothbrush, this teeny cute little toothpaste.
Yeah, a one-shotter.
Some of them give it, one of them, like Virgin Atlantic, actually gives you pajamas to put on. And then they give you a lint brush to brush your clothes off and everything. I'm surprised they don't iron my underwear for me. So he was taking everything out and he looked at these socks and he went like this. And I said, well, most expensive pair you're ever going to own. And he just went, oh, the company paid for my ticket. And I said, well, make sure you turn them in with your expense report. And he just sort of looked at me like, is that how it works?
Like, I gotta turn in these socks
because
on my expense report.
I thought that was kind of funny.
Oh, she's so bad. And people believe her.
I know, and they do because I have a very believing, innocent looking face. I keep the horns well hidden back here. Even with no hair.
I knew your bullshit right away from the day one.
I can even get my younger sister. She was just, we'd go visit my dad and he started talking about the war and everything. And one day he was babbling about the planes over in the corner that he had to get them fixed. And my dad was a good mechanic.
Sure.
He was a machinist by trade, but he was they fixed cars up and everything. And so Beth Ann's like, I know he worked on planes. I said, oh, yeah. I said he was part of when they did the distribution and stuff, he was always out at the airport working on engines and things like that. How do you think he fixed the cars at home? Really? I didn't know that, though he's in the Army. I said, well, they still have transport planes and things, but what do you think? Sure enough, and then it was something else. And I said, yeah. I said, in fact, I think he flew the plane he fixed all the way over to Korea when he was dispatched. And she goes, really? Then it hit her. Oh, flew. Then she knows giving her crap. And then she's like punches my arm. And then he's like, that's your sister. And we were both surprised. Like it was a typical dad response, but yet half the time he didn't even know who she was because his brain went back to before she was even around.
Yeah.
And he equated me more with the facility because I would put him in the wheelchair, take him out, feed him, that sort of thing. So he thought I was one of the nurses or something there. And it was just we both kind of looked at him like, what? Because it's a typical, Mom, he's touching me. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
Touching me.
Mom, he's got his finger in my face. I do not. It's in your ear. It's in your ear.
It's not in your ear. It's outside of your ear.
Yeah. So it would be like that. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that was one of those old days. So I guess I've had a gift for a while like that sort of thing. If nothing else, I'll talk your ear off.
Yeah.
Mikey said if I ever became a hostage, I'd either be the first one shot or the first one to let go.
Yeah.
Either one in between. Not to diminish anybody who has family or knows people that's going on with all this stuff. That was not very thing. And to all our people in Iowa, Nebraska.
The tornado. Oklahoma, holy buckets.
I feel so bad. And Dawn, if you're listening and you're there, I hope everything's okay because she's one of our Tulsa people. But Yeah, just the
That
weather.
was a massive tornado.
Total. And we still have more threats coming through today, this afternoon, depending on how they flow and
so everybody
everything.
be safe.
Yeah, it is, because it's that time of year here. I mean, we've gotten
we don't get
better.
it. We don't get it much here. I used to live in Nebraska. There's nothing.
Nothing compared to Nebraska. No.
And Oklahoma and all that.
No,
the
none of that.
Tornado Alley.
Yeah. Not so much. Even Kentucky, they've gotten hit a couple of times, and it isn't really their norm as much either. So, but yeah, it's growing up in the Midwest many years ago, and they've gotten much better. We do get a little more warning because they can tell how the clouds are now and all this other stuff.
Well, that's thanks to Dorothy.
Yes. Yeah. Because the wizard, he's a wonderful little man.
No, Twister. Dorothy. Did I
but Dorothy comes from Wizard of Oz, and I'm talking Wizard of Oz, and you're going to Twister.
Yeah.
Cow.
Well, another cow.
Another cow.
No, I think it's the same cow. Did I hear it correctly that they're doing Twister again?
Supposedly, yes. I've also heard that as well.
How
like Maggie, this is funny.
How do you make that better?
Well, how do you? Because what are they going to do? Take a little drone and fly it up into that?
I don't know. Like what
are you going to do? Put a bomb down the center? We're going to drop something right above it?
I don't know. How do you make that movie?
I don't know. It just doesn't seem to.
Although Jamie and I watched a movie that was a remake
of a remake of a remake.
Yeah. What was it? I'll have to think about it.
Well, it's funny.
Oh, Roadhouse. Remember the original Roadhouse was with Patrick Swayze and what's his name?
They were gay guys.
No.
Oh.
No, that was
a bunch of cross-dressers or whatever they were. They run into a town, this crazy little Midwest town.
Julie.
But it wasn't he in that too?
Patrick Swayze was the lead guy in that.
Yeah, and he plays a beautiful woman.
Oh yeah, he makes a good woman.
He makes a good one.
That was Julie Newmar.
Karen, Carly.
Sam Elliott. Thank you, Karen.
Elliott, there you go.
Sam Elliott and Patrick Swayze are bouncers.
Hi, Angela.
They're bouncers.
Okay.
Like burly men, you know, like
oh,
strong
that's
men.
the one. He's in a bar.
Yeah.
And he like protects them, and everybody underestimates him. And
because he's a little guy.
Yeah, and he throws everybody around the whole way. Yeah, okay.
So they remade that.
How did we do it?
Well,
I'm telling you. They're talking about Dirty Dancing too.
So, of course, we watched it because it came out on Netflix or Hulu or whatever, Prime. We watched it, and I was like, okay, that's completely different than the first movie, but just as good.
Really?
So if you have any trepidations about watching the new Roadhouse, they're not doing it exactly the way the other one was, but it's under the same premise.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Just updated with different people.
Yeah.
Who did they have playing in it? Do you remember?
I can't remember.
Okay. I don't know half these people's names anyway. Yeah. You know, I mean, from the Jack Reacher series.
The guy dressing up as women is Tu Wong Fu. Thank you for the memories, Julie Newmar, or whatever. That's what that one.
All right.
That's what that movie is called. Tu Wong Fu.
I just think that is the funniest thing. They look at them so weird, and then at the end, those little old lady that they kind of befriend and live with, they turn her into such spectacular.
Oh, that's
priceless.
A fantastic movie.
It really
all
is.
The way around.
It is. You know,
what's so funny is when Jamie and I lived in Nebraska, I worked at a florist shop, and one of my florist delivery gals, she was in like high school or whatnot,
right?
So she used to make deliveries in the afternoon. She was one of the extras in that movie, and so every couple of months she would get a royalty check of a couple $100 or something like that.
Yeah. It was,
and I was like, "You were in that?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm this girl right here." And I'm like, awesome.
"That's so cool.
That's cool. That's fun."
I love some of those older ones that I watch every once in a while, and I see the story line of it and everything, and it's really cool. that you can follow.
Probably once a weekend when Jamie's not golfing and he's here and he's watching movies.
Yeah.
He's a movie watcher.
Okay.
So like he's seen freaking everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he'll go, anything you want to watch? He always says this to me, anything you want to watch? And I'm like, no, because I'm putzing around and I'm not really paying attention anyway. So to me, I don't really care.
Right.
And I'll be like, can we watch something we know we like? Like, can we
Sleepless in Seattle?
Can we watch something, like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Sort of thing. I'm a repeater.
Oh, I love repeat.
Because
I'll repeat all day long. If I know I like the movie, I'll watch it again and again and again.
Star Wars is like that. I can pretty much.
Did you see that Star Wars was putting out a call for people who would rate the Star Wars movies?
Yes.
When I heard that, I almost called you because it's like they want you to watch all of them in sequence,
and then
I was like,
rate them.
I don't know if Deb can sit still that long.
No, she can't. Not even on a good day. Not even on a plane. Not even if they're running all the way through. Mm-hmm. There's no way. And I used to watch when I sewed because I knew the movie enough. I didn't do this and run my finger through the sewing machine.
Right.
I knew when to look up. And the dogs.
You knew the scene that you wanted to see. Yeah.
And you could tell by the timing and mm-hmm. by the noise what was coming up in the battle.
Right.
And so you could watch. And I'd put on Star Wars and the dogs would leave the room because they just knew that they didn't want to watch it again. And so I do that up quite, and he's like, wow, how can you watch this 86,000 times? I said, because it's just noise to me.
It's just
and
noise.
I enjoy certain parts, and otherwise I miss it because I decide I'm
bored. I get bored if I don't have noise.
Well, I have to have, and radio doesn't do it for me.
No.
Radio does it for him. It does not do that for me.
Yeah, no. I
can kind of understand the
difference.
difference.
The visual distraction every once in a while too.
Well, his thing was, when he would be out working on the car or mowing the grass or sitting outside having a cigar or
but see,
when he studied, he had music in the background. And when I studied, I turned everything off. I was one of these put an earplug in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
needed total quiet.
My best studying, like when I got into the upper level math.
Yeah.
And you had, 5-6 hours of homework each day.
Yeah.
In college.
Yeah.
My best studying was done in a bar.
Oh no, I couldn't do it. See,
I was at like noon, so it's not like the place was hopping or packed or anything.
But still, there were people there, and the TVs were on, and
Yep, I would belly up to the bar. The bartender would get me a tonic or a soda or something with a lime, and I'd order some food, and I'd do my math.
And that's not me. That's the same thing on Tuesday. You'll see the kids come in and they do their homework, or they sometimes when they're off and they meet, or they do meetings at Starbucks. In fact, this one had a doctor's appointment.
I actually came
on Tuesday to Starbucks and met us and everything.
I did.
Well, we met these really two nice ladies.
Was that just this Pfizer. Week? Was that just this week or was the week before?
Was this week.
Oh, so you guys don't even know about?
No.
Oh, they don't.
They don't know.
Do you guys even know about what I went through at the freaking doctor's office?
She's got to tell you the story. It's hysterical. Oh my God. It's the best because we all go through it. And yeah, some of you out there may not go through this part, and you'll understand. And Nancy will know for sure, so will Maggie. Go ahead.
Okay. So I called in several months ago to get some prescriptions refilled, and they were like, "Oh, okay. Well, we can do that. We need to schedule you a doctor's visit." Okay, do I have to schedule the doctor's visit to get my prescriptions refilled? Yes. Okay, fine. So I scheduled it like 3 months out, whatever it was that they said. So no big deal. So I got 3 months worth of prescription, had a doctor's appointment scheduled 3 months out. So I go to, now they told me it was just a doctor's visit.
They're ready to nail your
ass.
I
wasn't expecting, and then it was like, was it like 12:30 or 1:00
Something
appointment,
like that.
something like that, whatever. So I told the ladies, like, depending on how long I'm at the doctor's office, I'll meet you at Starbucks. So I get to the doctor's office, I have to fill out a few new forms, whatever. They had me fill out a new HIPAA form. Did something change with HIPAA?
No, they just have to have it renewed every year.
Whatever. So then, this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Black lady is my nurse, and she's taking me back, and I love her to death. She puts me on the scale, and she says the number, and she goes, "Well, that's not so bad." And I'm like, "Oh, I bless your heart, honey. I love you."
Next time when you don't want to get on, say, "Can you weigh me in kilograms first?" And then you can get off and they can convert it, because it's much easier to see.
Oh, it was great.
79 versus.
I loved her. She, "Oh, that's not so bad." Go into the room, blah, blah, blah. She takes my blood pressure, all as well, everything. And then she says, so you're okay with the pap smear today? And I go, "No.
Not.
No."
Mm-mm.
She goes, "Well, isn't that what this is for?" And I said, "Well, I was told it's just a doctor's visit. Nobody said anything about a pap smear." No, I don't. No, don't. It's not necessary. Don't
It's been
need it.
10
Thank you very
years
much.
since I had sex. Period stopped 10 years ago.
Yep. No.
Yep.
It's not necessary. Thank you very much. But no, I have no problems down there.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll write that one off.
So the nurse was she was off. She went, the doctor came in, and she kind of went through the same thing with me.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, there's no guaranteeing partners and their partners and blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "Listen, honey, I've been married for 30 years.
Yes. And happy anniversary. A little late.
Thanks." And, nope, it's, yeah. I understand that a lot of patients lie, but I can 2,000% guarantee to you that we're good.
We even bought a bed that has a separation.
And
And they're not apart. I mean, they're together, but you have to cross the
There's
crevice.
a fault line. There's a fault line in between.
And I don't like going over the fault line, and neither does he.
And I almost wanted to go, "Well, there's no sex going on unless it has a battery."
She would have fought. I can just imagine.
Well, and not only that, but it was actually Susan, the doctor. I've never seen her, so she's technically my doctor, but I've only ever seen the nurse practitioner. And I actually see the doctor, and she goes, "Oh, it's good to see you." And I'm like, "Well, it's good to finally meet you.
Since you've been writing these orders all these years."
Yeah. So at any rate, she did a breast exam, and
I'm okay with
she
that.
felt my tummy, and she's like, "Well, everything seems good, and your blood pressure is good. It's not high. It's not too low." She wants me to get a boob smash, so I'm going to schedule that.
Ugh.
And she wants me to do a colonoscopy, but evidently I can do, there's a less intrusive one where they just send you
a box Cologuard.
Yeah, whatever, and send in a sample. Yeah, she's like, "I'm good with that. At your age, I'm good with that. That's fine. Okay. You can do that."
Which is so much easier, because then you don't have to take all that nasty stuff and sit in the bathroom and drink, a cup this size full of that stupid, garbagey tasting thing.
And then you watch your brains come out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Seriously, it just is. You feel so empty. And then they go in and they go, "We see a little stool." And I'm like, "What the hell are you going up my ass? You're gonna see stool. Give me a break. I didn't clean out from here down. You still have residuals in there. Sometimes it gets stuck in a corner as it goes around the bend, That sort of thing. It's like, well, I don't know if we can get these pictures. Well, you only get one shot at it. It's a good thing they sedate me, because otherwise it wouldn't happen again. My husband actually has his colonoscopy without sedation. I'm like, what are you, a wet job? After God gave some
sadist?
scientist.
Are you a sadist or something?
Exactly. They gave someone like my niece, a chemist, the brains to be able to make this wonderful drug called Versed and Propofol. Puts you out like a light.
Yeah.
And you're over there going, you wake up, you're all over, and you have no idea where you are or
And
what
you're
they've
starving.
done. And they're starving.
Yeah.
But now you get to eat.
Yeah.
And you get to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it's like.
So, yeah.
And then she comes over and she announces she's going to get her hair cut.
I did. I said I was going to get it all chopped off. And I haven't
So
got
Karen,
it chopped off.
she didn't get it chopped off. Karen texted me.
I'm like, well, and it was weird because
it's just because mine's so short and yours is so thick and fluffy, and I just love it.
I know. I get it. I understand. If I could donate half of my hair to you,
it'd be great.
I would.
Right.
No problem. When they figure out how to do that, I will do that.
And in 20 years, when it's starting to thin out, you're going to wish you had it back. Because your head gets cold. And you get sunburned.
I will knit myself a fucking hat.
And you get sunburned.
Wear a hat.
I don't like wearing hats.
So, there you go.
Yeah. But I do put them on. I have to admit, this last couple of weeks, I did put them on. Going walking the dog.
This one here has already commandeered.
I've absconded.
This set.
No.
So it's numbered 0 through 9. You get 9. These are up pale pink. Up in the Etsy shop right now. Yes. Yep. She has commandeered this set.
Well, no, because I'm leaving on a cruise and I'm going to be knitting, and I'll take this along, and this will be Flock Around the Table. People always stop, and I give them a couple of tip huggers.
Yeah.
I always make sure I have something to give them with your card to tell them to get online. And I don't know if they ever do. I said, and the one lady actually asked me if you would give her a discount if I mentioned my name. And I said, I don't know. You'd have to ask her.
I should create a discount for you so that you can, no, seriously, the cards that you give out, I should create a discount for.
Yeah, we should probably do that. Here, call us in, put this code in, and they'll know that you ran into me, and she'll send you a condolence gift.
No, like I can create a code for like 10% off, like your entire purchase or whatever. I should do that.
They're really cute, guys. They're really so cool. And actually, I would almost wear this like as an earring for the day.
Well, you could, because they're lever back clasp. So those are the ones that you can actually wear
really
as earrings
cute.
too.
They're things,
but they're great for crocheters or knitters.
Which is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a pretty blue.
I do have a
Tiffany blue with gold.
Yeah, a Tiffany blue with gold. They're not.
But I like these better.
They will be.
They're so elegant looking. It's just, I could put 2 numbers in my ears and then let them guess what they mean.
Yeah, what's that for? Well, it's what row I'm on. You have to change it you have to change your earring every time you go to a new row.
Almost to the point that, okay, here you go.
Well, you could wear them for a couple of days.
Seriously.
In between rows.
The Shadow Saw and Hello Darkness, my old friend, is getting massive. And I still have all this to do. Oh my gosh, it's like so amazing. I must not have ever finished a shawl ball from them. I have a couple at home, but I don't remember ever making one. And I'm over 383 stitches, and I still have all this to go, guys. I mean, seriously, look at that.
I'm toying with doing that sort of stitch where it looks like brioche.
Mm-hmm.
In a shawl like orgasm.
Yeah. That's initially what this was supposed to be. When I first started this, I was going to turn it in.
That's what my next project's going to be.
I was going to turn it into a rectangle, not on the bias, just across.
Just across?
Just across. Just to go.
I don't want to do
but
that.
I like the bias.
On the bias.
The bias would be better. I think that's what I was thinking.
Don't you think the bias would be better?
But normally in the center of the shadow shawl, it's make one left, make one right, before you have the single stitch in the center. Well, our friend, little Karen, does not like to do make one right, make one left.
I don't either.
So she did knit front and back. So I figured out, I thought, okay, and I was so worried about getting the beginning of this right with the front and the back that it became a triangle instead of going on the bias, because I changed my mind from just going back and forth. I figured that could be like a scrap yarn one, or, you know, a fiddle bit thing sort of type situation. That would be better, because then you could change colors and see things. So that was one of the reasons why it turned into that, because of I wanted to get the front and back. I have one that I started in December. My neighbor gave me one of these big, like from Hobby Yarn or something like that, one of those.
Yeah.
And it's like 1,000 yards of worsted. I'm making the Sunday morning shawl, and it's very similar to this. It has a knit purl section, and then a stockinette section, then a knit section, and then a stockinette section. Okay, so it's really nice, but it started out with in the beginning.
Yeah.
So the first 4 or 5 rows went this, and then I thought, no, I don't want that. I want the center seam. So I then changed it, but I have this one section up at the top, but I figured you'd never notice it.
Yeah,
it's way up here. So
yeah,
you know, but it's one of those that's 90 years from now, I'll probably kind of finish it, because that is not going down. I'm changing from a 24 to a 32, because remember, it is worsted. So it's going to be, but I'm like, and it hasn't moved. It still feels tight, you know, when you pull out, because I'm a center girl, because it goes from white to gray. And he's like, I don't know why I bought this. He goes, it's too dull. And I said, well, I know somebody who really, really likes gray. So I thought, if nothing else, but then I started it thinking, all right. Then I started Stephen West. Then I started this. All I have is big projects. So,
well, and pretty much all I have 2 hats going. I have a scarf that I don't think I'm going to have enough of, and I may just frog it, because I don't think I'm going to have enough of the actual yarn to make it big scarfable.
Right. You know.
And then I have big crochet projects.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well, because you got your blanket.
Yeah.
So if that's nothing.
But it's coming into summer. I'm not going to want to have that on my lap and crochet with it. Exactly. I mean, unless I got air conditioner blowing on me.
Well, see, you're on a ranch type house. Our house is 3 stories. It is now it was built. Let's see, we've been in there 30 years. It was almost 30 years old when we bought it. So we're in the 60s, somewhere in the 60 years old. So the air conditioning and the airflow is not quite the thing. Plus, it's 3 tiers. It's a tri-level. So that downstairs gets, in order to cool off the upstairs.
The downstairs is
freezing. So I've actually mentioned to Mikey to put some of those units that go in the wall, on the wall. That now that, because you don't have to vent them, and they have all these cool ones now that you can put in the room, and you don't have to take up a window or put all this extra drainage shit in and all this other stuff, that they've finally figured some of that out. And I said, that might be a decent investment, so that I don't have the heater on in the basement. I mean, it's a garden level, and then have the heater on, and you've got the air conditioning running and the fan on upstairs, just so that I stay cool.
Doesn't seem right.
Yeah, there's just something wrong there.
Yeah.
You know? And then the door's open, so the dog can go in and out from the kitchen. So
so you're heating and cooling the outside.
And all he's doing is sitting on the stoop, surveying his world, because he's got his ass in the air conditioning and his face in the sun.
Well,
so it kind of evens out in his head, the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have a doggy door?
No, never. My neighbors do, but I've always had bigger dogs. I've never really had a tiny dog. Sassy was the only one, and she was a toy poodle, so she was, you know.
Yeah.
They have the neighbors have one, and they had corgis and a terrier, small little terrier.
Yeah.
So that makes Gail had one in her barn. When she lived up in Chesterton, she had put in like a greenhouse type barn where she put a bathroom and a kitchen and some deep water sinks, and it was a big area so she could start her plants in the spring. And also it was a great place to have parties when she'd have cookouts and bonfires, because she lived out in the country. So for a while there, she was doing a pig roast. She'd get a whole pig and we'd roast it, and it was so much fun. We had a ball. So
she had a doggy door on
that one, because the dogs were out quite a bit.
Yeah.
So then she knew they could go into she didn't keep it at 60 degrees, but it was 50 degrees. So windows everywhere. So
if it was too cold out, they could go in
there. Yeah, they could go in there. So
warm up a little.
But I mean, it was half the door because she had big dogs.
Yeah.
And any place that we would put it, Mikey's just afraid that, at some point they're going to get out if you don't know that they're out. We had one little one, Lucky, that climbed the fence and took off. But she'd come home. She was smart enough to figure out how to come home. Jack would wiggle his way underneath the fence, and then he'd wake up 2 blocks away trying to figure out how to get back. Yeah, he was just one of these, huh? What? How did I get here? What? Where am I? Oh no, beam me up. Help. How did I get here? Where am I? So he got out once. How, we don't even know. And he got out, and my mom's, we were going somewhere, and I said to my mom, I said, bring the dogs in. She comes calmly walking into the house going, they're not out there. I said, what do you mean they're not out there? She goes, I called. They're not out there. Sure enough, he had gone over, gotten out, gone to the neighbor, got into his trash, had time to get into his trash and eat half a chicken. And then he took off down the road. And then when he comes flying back, when he hears us and he comes flying back, there's all this traffic. And I'm like, no, stop! Because I didn't want him to run in front of the cars. And so then my mother runs out in front of the bus, it was like terrible. So now our fence is secure. Our fence is secure now.
Yeah.
Because it needed to be replaced for years. And of course I'll get to it. Yeah. It's on that I'll get to it list. And so when we got Apache, big shepherd, big, 90 pounds, tall. So he agreed to put the fence in, my 40-inch fence, which is great.
Right.
And I won. I got a black fence, so it looks good. And I got my queen-size bed finally, because we both couldn't sleep in the bed. And he wanted the dog to be comfortable. Otherwise, he kept poo-pooing the need for a king, for a king size, for a queen size bed. And the room would take a king size, but a queen he doesn't move a lot. Whereas I do. If we had to sleep when we had company, I said this way, we would be comfortable. I kept pushing that. No, gotta buy new sheets. No, gotta buy new blankets. No, gotta do this. No. Dog comes along. I said, boy, she's really scrunched. That's how I put it. When she sleeps with me, he goes, well, maybe we should go to IKEA and look over, see if we can find a queen bed for you. Sure enough, we did. And he put it together ASAP. My pergola that he bought in 2015 it's out of the box, but it's in pieces out in the shed. Still not up. Yeah. So, and that's a story in itself. I saw it at the home show. And this guy made one, and it was reasonably priced. I have to give him credit for as sturdy as this guy was making. He was new to the business, and this thing was built like a brick shit house, as the British would say, a ceramic defecatory.
Yeah.
So, and I wanted one so bad, and then we were in Lowe's, and they had one, and it was like $600 and some. And he goes, "No, let's wait until it goes on sale." And I have to give him credit. He watched all summer and made sure who had how many so that he could go and pick it up. I think he ended up paying like $200 or something for it. Sat against the wall forever in the garage. And then I'm not sure why he moved it out to the shed, because the box was so big. And when he said he put it in the shed, I just assumed he, somehow got Pete, because it's got rafters. So I thought maybe that's where he stuck it. Good place for it, because it's up and out of the way. I'll never see it up. Never. I mean, there's no way. And so now it's out of the box, and I'm sure there's 3/4 of the pieces missing, you know. Because when we first got Abner in 2017, he was going to put up a dog run.
Right.
Lucky went from tree to tree. It was like a lightning rod. I felt so bad for that dog, and she hated it. Absolutely hated it, because she was the one that would jump the fence. So she would run up and down on this thing, and it was a good
close
80 feet.
Yeah.
But no, Mikey used steel. Of course, it has to be. And then you could hook, and then there was a stake here, and you could hook her, so you didn't even have to go out and get wet. You could put her on the leash so that you wouldn't even have to go outside. So he decided he was going to put one in the middle of the yard for Abner, with him being able to get to shade and everything. Took him a year to finish this damn thing. And now all it's used, the pole is used for Abner to piss on. And he spent good money on all the wood and everything. I'm like, so at Christmas time, we just hang lights on it.
It's really just for you. Yeah. You'll be tethered to it when I get to the Alzheimer's. Complete dementia.
That's what I told
Alzheimer's, so that you can get outside time.
The only thing is I really want, I said, if you're going to do that to me, I said, I don't have a problem walking up and down on it, but I want my gazebo in.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
You have to put the gazebo in.
Get a prepaid gazebo and put it in the back, if nothing else, so I can sit down.
Right.
And I've got some shade
not in the grass.
Comfort, and not in the grass. So that's what he's doing.
And with electricity hooked up, so you could turn on your air conditioning while you're sitting inside the gazebo. Because you're so hot.
My neighbor's craft shop has Wi-Fi, heat, and air conditioning.
Oh, yeah.
And a security system.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
With all that stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We needed it.
Yeah.
Probably a Ring doorbell, too, so that there's cameras up.
I never even asked him that. I'll have to give him that suggestion.
Does he have security cameras with a Ring doorbell or something? Yeah,
he's very into the Day of the Dead. So he's
a prepper. He's a prepper.
So he likes they visit cemeteries everywhere they go. Cracks me up. I'm like, okay, if that's your thing, then that's your thing,
Yeah. To each their own.
It's not my world, I don't care to go into a cemetery if I don't have to, but but whatever. So that's how it is.
So you're planning on stopping this and starting a Stephen West.
Back to my Stephen West.
Oh, back to it.
The glittering snowscape.
Okay, back to that.
He has a new one out that's actually free on Ravelry, and it's cute. I really like that one. And he just came out with the one, I think it's called Mermaid, and it's gorgeous. And he does big shawls. That's something you may want to think about.
I know, but he also, I'm a lazy knitter. You guys should know this by now. I don't like to have a bunch of different things that I have to do. I don't like to do
his free one. I think it's all garter stitch.
Purl 3, knit
yarn
6
over
together.
7,
I don't want to
flip the last 7 stitches over. Come over
really
here.
I don't want to have to fucking think about it that much.
Yeah.
I'm a self-proclaimed lazy knitter. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. And more power to you. If you want that lace stuff, all the better for you. It's just not me.
Yeah. No,
it's not me for a finished object, and it's not me for the knitter either. Either or. Like I don't want to wear it, and I don't want to knit it. So why would I knit it?
Doing that painted bricks was
painted bricks is a different story. That's just a slip stitch.
Yeah, and it's mostly garter.
It's mostly garter,
right? Until you get down to the bottom, and then you're doing your purl rows and stuff. But it's similar to this. This is 3 knit to 1 purl.
Yeah, it's not I'm all right with that.
So that helps. It's just that every once in a while he comes out like, I don't know. It's just the way that the coloring he had on that, and you can't see the fancy stitches because he goes on the one that was on the website at first was blues and whites. He went from a white to cream light, very pale blue to a navy blue. So you didn't didn't get the intricacy of some of the stitches, and I've learned a lot about the stitching and stitches and stuff doing his thing. But he does have a new free one out. I think the whole is garter stitch. The whole one that's free is garter. I'll have to bring it over and show you and seeing it.
Colleen.
Yeah.
Last Friday, the free pattern from
Expression by Birds.
Yes, was a crocheted. She called it intermediate. I looked at the pattern. You could do it.
The sweater, cardigan
sweater in crochet.
Yes, it's on my list.
Did you
download it? I downloaded it. I haven't printed it out yet, but it's on the top.
I have it. It is like a traditional, like
exactly
just cardigan sweater,
and
it's top down.
Yes, not
Colleen. You could do it.
Totally do it.
Totally do it.
Yes, and it's actually on. I thought I could get this sweater done before I change size.
You could. You could. Yeah.
Because like Carly said last week, she was like,
it only took her 2 years to knit a sweater. Yeah.
And in 2 years, I could be back to the way I was when I go off the medication. So who knows what's going to happen to me? So it's hopefully not go too far back. But my husband wants me to gain 20 pounds.
I think that sweater was it worsted? I think it was in worsted.
I think so.
I think it was in worsted.
Carly, what was it?
But I don't see.
She's up with Casapinka this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. I don't remember. But her mom was going with her and everything. So that would be cool to hear.
Yeah.
She'll have to show us some of it. Because Casapinka had the local yarn shop pattern.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry to say I didn't go to the local yarn shop. I have enough yarn. I didn't even order any. The only thing I brought today was, hold on, I'll go get it. I think did you show Karen's?
We might have shown Karen's, but not wound up. Bring yours, it's wound up.
Okay.
She got 2 skeins of it. Yeah, Colleen, look at it. It's just a traditional cardigan, but in crochet. Most of it is double crochet.
And I think
so
it's
you
still
know how to
free.
do that.
And if it isn't still free, let me know and I'll email it. This, you can't tell. It is so pinky and purple.
It is highlighter pink and then
a highlighter purple.
A highlighter purple.
It's not. And this is Penelope's Fiber Seed.
Light pink and
this is Penelope's pink and purple balloons.
From Fiber Seed.
From Fiber Seed. And I got the Tiki Hay. Karen gets their sprout sock is actually big. They go 500 yards on theirs. Which if you did a shadow shawl with 2 of those, you might be able to get
500, 1,000. Oh, that'd be massive.
Yes, you might get. Well, this is $840. This is their shawl balls. Brenda's and Heather's shawl balls are
what aren't normal skeins like
400?
Oh, 400.
400 to 460.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's about 2 skeins. So anyway.
Yeah.
They're meant to be that way. So that's how they do it. And I'm glad I did it. Because I would like to. I was doing research this week for the June trip. June, we go to London, and then we go to the eastern side of Iceland. Okay. And the first, and I'm going to slaughter this name. So sorry to the people of Iceland. I haven't figured out how to get it, but I think it's called Sydafjörður. They actually do.
Yeah.
Anyway,
swallow a lot of letters. Yeah.
Anyway, I was looking it up, and then we go up Riku, and their June temperatures are in the 50s. Yeah, I'm thinking, what are we crazy?
You are crazy.
And this is unbelievable, and it actually has the lows are in the 40s.
It's Iceland, not Greenland. Like what? What in the 50s?
So I was surprised. I thought, geez, because they always say that June. When we were there the one time they were like, no, you should come in June, July. The flowers are open. So I figured maybe they must have pansies or something like that poppies and stuff that grow in they have beautiful fields. Their grass is gorgeous up there because they're having trouble regrowing the trees. They cut them all down when they built houses, and with the volcanic earth, So it's kind of good Gail's going because every time she goes somewhere where there's a volcano, it stops flowing. So they may keep her. because it'll even out all that. So, but I was thinking, okay, well, it's a good thing this will be part of it, because I'll wear my Hello Darkness, my Eclipse shirt over a long sleeve t-shirt with a shawl on it, and I might actually be comfortable.
Right.
Because every time somebody goes out the doors, you just freeze across the bottom of your feet, because they come in and out of the buffet and those doors going out the decks, and you're like, knock it off, go over there. I'm sitting here. Leave me alone. I don't want to be froze to death. I'm not sitting out there. So anyway, it's like, and then when there's kids. Oh, and I'm going to get even with the moms on the cruise ship. I really am. That if they want to bring their kids on a cruise, go to Disney. If you're going to bring your kid and go looking for ducks on a Carnival cruise ship, I'm crocheting ducks for the ship. I found a little bag of squeakers.
She's going to put squeakers inside.
I'm going to put squeakers inside the ducks.
This is going to backfire on you.
No, it isn't.
You know it, because they're going to be squeaking that all over the ship.
Right. Look what I found. Did you make this? Because everybody assumes, because I sit there and knit, that I made the hand knitted ones or the hand crocheted ones.
They're crocheted. Just go, that's crochet. I don't do that.
Yeah, but I do. Anyway, I got to get back at
That's dark magic. I can't do that.
I can't do that. That's the dark side. And I'm totally part of the Rebel Alliance. So, can't do it. Not me. Except Darth Vader is like one of my heroes. I really like. He's in my car. I have a Darth Vader in front of my car.
I know. You are semi-demented like that. Yep, I know.
Do you think I'm demented? Guys, I'm not demented at all.
Just a scotch.
Get out of here.
Why I love you.
Yeah, that's true. So anyway, no, she's checking out. Didn't even get her hair cut, Karen.
No, well, literally, like, something was always going on.
Well, you just
after
said
work.
You were going to go to Great Clips when we left Starbucks.
I know, but something happened and I had to, I can't remember, and then it was
probably
all week. It was like something was going on in the afternoon, and then Wednesday I had date night. Yeah. Thursday. And then Friday, I'm like, I'm not going there on Friday night. Because that'll be crazy.
Right.
And then yesterday I was with my mother-in-law. And today, here I am today. So. I don't know, maybe afternoon today. I might run over to Great Clips.
Why don't you go to the barbershop?
Well, the barbershop here in Zionsville, they won't cut my hair because I'm a woman. They only cut men's hair. And I said, but if I want it cut like a guy's cut, no, sorry. I wonder if now I could say I identify as a man. Yeah.
Listen, come in with hashtag he, they, them. Hashtag he, they. Or he, them. No, he, they. You're not, you want to be in the multi-group and the male group. Mm-hmm. So that's how you can, you can get they, them.
They, them. Yeah.
So you can do that, which I don't get it. Except those, now we actually have a group to bother. When you say they did this in Congress, it must be they, them people in Congress that did it. So now you have somebody to blame for these things.
It's always them. It's always them.
Those guys did it again. Whose guys? Those guys.
Those guys in Congress.
They did it in gas. So
those people, we can't even say guys. Those people in Congress.
I get so confused with what I can and can't say.
Right.
It's like I'm old. I don't know this stuff and I don't keep up on it. And so I wouldn't even know if it, my TV watching is nothing. Right now I'm binge watching Judge Faith.
Oh, okay.
Because Judge Judy, I've watched Judy Justice, the new one, even on Freevee.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I'm done. I've got like 5 episodes, and then I tape Judge Judy when she's on, and I'm starting to see the repeats from 2013, 14, 15, and I know the outcome, so it's not even fun. That's why I went to Judge Faith.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, this way I can kind of get it. And I finally gotten into her because I don't have to listen. He goes, Mikey will come down and he'll sit downstairs and he's like, what are we watching? And I said, I've got Judge Faith on. And I said, I got the judge on. And so he's like, either I'm blind or that's not her. Because normally it's Judge Judy.
Judge Judy.
And she's now in her 80s. And Mike's like, she's in the 80s and she works out 5 days a week and she's got all this book. And I'm like, I don't know so much about Judge Judy. And he goes, they were actually talking about her the other day on one of the talk
podcasts
shows
that I listen to.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, yeah. So anyway, he said, he comes downstairs and he's actually sitting there watching it, getting into it. And he goes, these people are nuts. Why are they putting all this stuff on TV? And I said, they actually have a team that goes out to, or they contact people in some of these courts and say, when you get X type of case, because a lot of them, some of them are actually from Indiana. You can tell because they're suing over some backyard junk or something like that. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to pick on Indiana. I'm not implying that in any way, shape, or form.
Hey, we live in Indiana, so we can pick on Indianians.
Yeah, you can. We can. Mm-hmm. So we live here.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where I was going with this. It suddenly left my brain.
I don't know either. I think we've probably hit every facet of everything that we need to this week.
Yes. Now, are you going to be here next week? We're going to take a week off.
I probably will take the week off. You're going to be gone.
I'll be in Michigan.
She'll be in Michigan.
I'm going to Michigan for my great niece's graduation.
And shopping.
Well, yeah, I will shop.
She'll shop.
Got to get some M there in Michigan because it's there.
Yeah.
In Michigan.
So you guys.
So I can pick it up on my way. I mean, it's like you get off the expressway and you get back on the expressway. It's not like it's tough. Yeah. You cross over into Michigan and there's this huge sign that you can probably see from Indiana that goes. So anyway, so that'll be what I'm doing next weekend. I'm going to go to, and I did go to a good. I went to the good Dollar Tree open. And some lady's like, wow, they must have gotten a truck of stuff in. It's very well stocked today. And I was like, it's always better than what you must not go to Indianapolis because those guys have boxes everywhere. And I picked up, instead of glasses for the graduate, I got the fans because you're always hot in these things.
Yeah.
So it says, congratulations, graduate. And for her graduation, one of her graduation presents, I bought M&Ms with "Hooray, Rachel" and a picture of a graduate on the other side. So I had them put in little packages too for her, so she can give them out in blue and gold because she's at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. Nice. So that's one of her gifts. Nice. I thought that'd be kind of cute. Fun. I was trying to get the dispenser to figure out how I could get them in there and how it dispenses. But I thought those things break a lot of times because they're plastic. And I thought, well, then she has to kind of refill it. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know if she was going to do something like that. So I thought, no, I think the little packages, the containers were cuter, but they were like $6 a piece. And I thought this way people may get them that she doesn't necessarily want to have them.
Yeah.
So I thought, no. And so we'll be going up to then, and then I'm going to head over to Lansing for a dinner, which I would imagine is at their country club. And then I'm going to go, you would love it, to this place called Horrocks. It is a massive grocery store, has you name the craziest sort of foods in it, sort of like a Jungle Gyms of Michigan. And they even have bok choy. And they have beautiful.
And bok choy at freaking Meyer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have all these weird things and stuff. So anyway, I'm going to go there if nothing else to run around.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'd like to go there. And then I'll visit my brother at the cemetery and then head home.
Yeah. Okay.
So it'll be a full-time weekend.
So unless somebody, desperately wants to sit in and play talkie with me on the podcast, we'll skip a week.
Okay. That'd be good.
Yeah.
I actually gave her a list.
She did, of when she's going to be gone this year. So,
well, I had to write it out for my brother.
Yeah.
Because we've added 2 cruises that he didn't know about.
Right.
Because I added one in December for Mexico.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm going to go to Belize, Honduras, and Cozumel. I've been, but she hasn't. So it was great on Celebrity. So we're going to do that one. And then I guess I didn't give him the one in August where that's Bimini and I can't remember.
We'll probably discuss
Somebody
it
in the Caribbean.
the
We
sooner
will.
we get to it.
Yeah.
So you guys have a good week.
Yep. Enjoy. Stay.
You know, get your number markers and your advent calendars. They're
Yes.
up.
They're up. Please do that. Here they are.
They're up and available.
Yeah. So, you know, you could actually do this with your sock. I could wear one sock. This is number one. I never had number two.
You guys have a good week. We'll talk to you later.
It's not a touchscreen.
I know.
All right.
Bye.